All right. Welcome to episode
Well,
84.
hello, guys. And hello to
Whoa.
Mandy, who appears to have taken a nice tropical vacation to her back porch.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and address the elephant in the room or the red herring, if you will. My face is a little red today. I haven't gone to the beach. I am going to the beach this
Okay.
Thursday um, with my college friends. I don't know how this is going to do there, but so over the weekend, my anniversary's coming up, right? Like the 19th. Had to think about that for a minute. So I've been asking for a Blackstone
Yeah.
grill for probably five or
I was
six
going to
years
say,
at
you
least.
talked about it
But
last year for sure.
yeah, and it's not that Aaron wouldn't buy it. It's just really every year I've been like, oh, I don't want to spend the money. So much so that we were like literally in the store this weekend buying it, and I was like, oh, we walked through the store. Oh, let's just put it back. Put it back. It's just a lot of money, and I was like, ah. But we went ahead and got it. I will say I love it. But so let's see. Was this Friday night? No, Saturday night. Gonna break her in first usage. You have to do all this conditioning
Like
work before
season
you
it
use
and
it.
all of that.
Yeah, we didn't know that. So I was like all afternoon. I was out there conditioning. So she's nice and seasoned, and so it was one of our friends' birthdays. They came over. I made a bunch of steaks. Freaking love this thing. Everything's amazing. I make baked potatoes, corn on the cob, on the grill. Everything's fantastic,
Okay.
right? Well, then a couple more people came over, and I was like, well, we're out of steak, but I'll throw some chicken on. I'd already cleaned the grill and everything, so I was a little annoyed. But anyway, so I go out there and I turn. It's
Uh-huh.
propane, right? So and it's dark too. Bear in mind.
Mandy doesn't
And the
eat
only person.
with the rest of the AARP like I do at 5 o'clock.
Well, I did. These were other people that showed up. I ate earlier. But it's dark, and I mean we have a floodlight that goes over it, but I'm gonna need some extra lighting, is what I've decided. Clearly, after I tell you what happens. So the only person outside with me is a 9-year-old, not mine. My son's friend, Caden, KK. He's outside. He's playing with a
As
boomerang
you do.
in the dark. As you, our boys weren't even home. He was just here. So everybody's inside, which I don't know. They're probably maybe 20 feet from me, 25 feet from me. This is important.
Okay.
So I turn on the propane, it's down on the ground,
Yeah.
clearly. On the ground. And so then on the left hand side, there's an igniter button. Well, I'm used to like, a grill kind of like like slatted grill,
Yeah.
like not a flat stone, I guess I should say. Or not a flat griddle. So I'm used to being able to like hit the igniter, turn the thing, and you'll see if the fire comes on,
Right.
right? Well, I guess in my brain, I was like kind of thinking the same thing. And also, this is literally the third time I've lit the
Uh-huh.
thing. So I press the igniter button and I go to turn the first dial. And I think it was fine. I think the first one was fine. I do have some shady details as what happens next is from. But then I don't know why or if something seemed to miss. I hit the igniter again and turned the second one. Now, bear in mind, if you're not watching us on YouTube, you're not going to know, but I'm like eye level with underneath the griddle
Okay.
because I have to see if the burners come on, or I think I
Right.
need to for whatever reason. So, essentially, what I've done at this point, if you're not following, is I've basically shot more propane into the burner at this time. And so it's kind of quiet out there. All that you can hear is KK with the boomerang, and that's it. And when I do this the second time, this big ball of
Oh,
fire
no.
comes out from underneath the griddle. And bear in mind, my face is still down here because I'm trying to see if the burner comes on. And so it like engulfs my
Oh,
face.
no.
And then everything just went silent.
Was an instant panic.
And all of a sudden, like in the very far distance, and he's probably only 3 feet from me, but in the what feels like miles away, I can hear him screaming. And
That's
so,
dramatic.
being told from the inside what happens, they heard a loud, like pop, which was the fireball, and then complete silence, and then KK screaming. So the first one out was our friend Keyshawn, and he's kind of a quiet guy anyway. and he always just kind of has like a blank stare
Uh-huh.
to him. So I turn around and I don't turn towards KK because in my head I'm still thinking like if something's wrong, I don't want to look at a
Right.
9-year-old, right? And so I turn to Keyshawn and I'm like, "Am I okay?" Because like I can't, like I'm in a
Yeah.
fog, and he just looks at me like dumbfounded, and I'm like, "What?
Am
What?"
I speaking?
And so then so everybody tells me that they were sitting at the table, they hear the loud pop, they hear silence, they hear KK screaming, and then all of a sudden, Keyshawn just says, "Oh shit," really loud. And so then they all came running outside. And then our friend Jamal was the second person I see, and he looks at my face and goes, "Oh shit," twice. And so I'm like, "What? What?" Like, and they were like, "Okay, it's okay, it's okay." And I was like,
What's
"What?
okay?
What? What has happened?" And they were like, "Okay, so it burned your hair." And I was like, "Okay, what?" So they're like, "It's okay. Do you feel okay? Is everything okay?" I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. Like, I was so
Oh my God.
confused. So I go into the bathroom. I walk inside and I go to our downstairs bathroom. And I like get in the mirror. And I do, like, basically, if you're not looking, like, the rim of my hair is just ashy
Oh,
looking around basically like my
yeah.
hairline. And my hair looked just like it does right now. And so I start like doing like this, like just brushing it out with my hands, and it's just like snow, and it was hair.
Oh,
And I was like, "Oh my god!" I didn't know like how much was going to come out. Now my hair looks very
good.
normal. Now right here on the top of my hairline is kind of
Got
crunchy, but
it.
so as I'm getting all this, I kind of wipe my face, and then I realize the old eyebrow over here. She's a little barren, and what's left is very spiky. And then you can't see it at all, but you see how you can see my eyelashes,
Yeah.
Becca? Do you see how you can't see my eyelashes
Andy.
on the top? That's because they're gone.
Oh no.
And so, and you can't really tell. The tip of my tongue is burned because I like opened my mouth. My lungs, like I inhaled smoke and fire.
Listen, this is too much.
So, I mean, I'm just telling you that like don't double pump the igniter because oh yeah. So I mean, I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Like I mean, everything is fine. I just but my face is
Right.
burned. It just looks like I have a really bad
Yeah.
sunburn. It hurts really bad, specifically right in here around my old favorite
Yeah.
line. It's a little blistered, so I've been doctoring with some aloe.
I think the moral of the story here is if friends come over to your house late, they can help themselves to the pantry. We're not cooking for you.
I will say, and as the kids say, and these people are younger than us, so they speak like the kids. They did say my chicken was bussin',
Okay.
and apparently that's good, even post
Okay.
sentence.
Worth it, I guess.
I mean, I got to tell you though, I love the Blackstone.
Okay.
We made fajitas on it last night, and it
Nice.
was they too were
Yeah.
bussin'. Even the kids ate them. Like
Listen,
I
I
love the thing. It was daylight, so I could see what was happening.
every summer I always think we need to get a Blackstone because I would use it because I don't like heating
You
up my
will.
kitchen in the summer.
Well, listen, I mean, again, and I mean, just to be transparent, we got I believe it's a 32 inch, so we spent 400.
Okay.
So, I
That's
mean,
not bad though.
but listen,
For
like, and your cleanup is super
yeah.
easy. You can do everything at once. Like, I mean, I totally in love with it. We went and got more steak meat at the grocery store and had them pre-chop it. So we're going to have kind of like fajita bowls tonight, sort of.
Listen, is this going to get you to cook at home more instead of going out?
It is. That's what I was going to say. For those who spend too much money eating out, us. And it's real quick.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe
Listen,
10
we've been to
minutes.
hibachi a lot. I feel like I could really master a Blackstone.
No, I mean, I still got some tricks to learn, specifically not double pumping. The first lesson I've learned. Listen. So yeah, that's why I'm a little red today. And I go to the beach on Thursday, so I'm hoping this clears up in time for that
You're gonna
redness
have
to
to
set in.
slather on some sunscreen, which is not our favorite thing to do.
No, I'm gonna have to wear a hat at this point, and that's for sure not my favorite thing. Yeah, so I almost
Okay.
died.
Well,
Uh,
listen, but you survived the weekend.
I survived. Everyone was over because we were watching football. because we had so much football.
The fact that we
I'm just happy.
college and NFL, I'm just happy. Whatever channel you
Yeah,
turn on
I'm happy.
probably has a game on it.
Yeah, and I mean, there were some negative things that happened in the football
Obviously.
world this weekend. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But first up, let's go ahead and we've had some legal verdicts come in, so we do need to welcome back our legal resident, Becca. Fill us in.
Well,
Is Cardi B free of her charges or
listen,
not?
Miss Cardi B, which I think last week was the first week we had mentioned it, and I was like, oh, I don't know when closing arguments were. They were that day. They were that day.
Yeah, we had to get on it.
So
Yeah.
this was a civil suit. So it was not like a guilty, not guilty. It was a liable or not liable. So
So basically, money or no money for those that need commoner
correct.
terms.
So she was found not liable. You didn't strike the person. Clearly, you don't have to pay for their supposed scar on their face. However, at some point during the day, and I have not been able to confirm if it was during their lunch break or after the verdict was rendered.
I believe it was after the verdict was read,
Okay.
so it was like when she was coming out of the courthouse. I already know where you're going.
So there was apparently someone in the media group that was asking questions. I don't know if it was an actual media person or if it was some random person that was outside the courthouse, but they yelled at her asking if she was pregnant with her fourth child from Offset, which if you'll know, she and Offset are going either divorced or going through a divorce, and she is with Mr. Stefan Diggs currently.
Yes.
And so they had, inquired if this was going to be a paternity issue.
Right, yeah. Because she did look pregnant upon
Her
exiting.
outfit choices were questionable. I will definitely give you that.
And that's saying something with Cardi B.
Yes.
I mean, in general.
So she apparently had a marker in her hand or nearby, and she chucked that at him. So
Yeah.
listen, maybe not the best place to do that,
Yeah.
but I get it. Like who?
But as it turns out, she is not pregnant.
She's not. She's not.
It was a pillow. I don't know
A
why.
fashion choice, a comfort choice. I'm
I'm uncertain, but she was wearing a pillow. And then she went on social media to reveal taking it out of her shirt.
well. I have questions.
As
I
one
just
might,
feel like
yes.
you can't get upset with some. First off, I understand no one should ever ask a woman if they're pregnant unless you're like delivering a
Valid.
baby and you're certain.
Needing to know what's about to pop out,
But
yeah.
also, if you're sticking a pillow in your shirt, that's what like we would do as kids when we were like playing house or something. Why are we doing this?
Yeah. In public,
I had
no
totally
less.
missed that. I didn't see that piece.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so there's that.
So yeah, I don't know if this is her way of telling us she's about to come out that she's pregnant. I really just don't know what we were doing.
It had to have been a
I don't know that with Cardi B, there's really a lot of logical thought that goes into much of what she
Right.
does, but
I don't listen.
either way, she's innocent. Did not owe a
Doesn't have to
penny.
pay out any money. So, and then our other case that we've been following was Donna
Yes.
Adelson. And the jury deliberated for just about maybe 3 hours, if that.
Because we were pretty certain we knew what we had
Yeah,
done
so
here.
Florida courts allow their juries to deliberate a little bit later. If you'll remember when we were at the Karen Reed trial, by like 4 o'clock, they were piecing out for the day.
Yes. So
Florida will
annoying.
let you go almost till like 8 o'clock at night if you want to. So once they had closing arguments, we figured they would deliberate for a little bit, but then come back the next day and maybe give us their verdict. They did not. They deliberated for a couple of hours and they came back with a verdict of guilty on all counts.
Yeah, so Becca introduced me to this case as our resident legal expert. And so I've been following along. I mean, I probably heard about it, but it does bear repeating that this crime happened 11 years ago. I just need to remind you all because I find that part insane. But, I've been, of course, once Becca mentioned it into the ether, my TikTok has become consumed with different clips from the trial. And I will say some of the highlights for me when they read the verdict. First of all, Donna, who honey, it was obvious to the most dumb of dumb you were guilty. But she burst into this dramatic boo-hoo fest. Just like, damsel in distress grandma in the middle of the courtroom, and the judge was like, "Ma'am, I'm gonna need the jury to leave, and you gonna have to shut up. Like, we're gonna stop this." So that was entertaining for me. But also, so now we've got the brother who's been convicted. We've got the mother
Yes.
who's been convicted, and all of this is conspiring to kill the daughter's
The
husband.
daughter's ex-husband. So also,
And I
the
also
brother's
found
ex-girlfriend has been convicted, and her baby daddy has been convicted. So this was the fourth
right.
trial.
And so now I'm just waiting on charges for Wendy, the ex-wife of the now deceased dentist, right?
He was a lawyer. Her family is in
Lawyer,
dentistry.
that's right.
Yep.
The dentist is another, yeah. Um, because like so obvious. I mean, like your whole family conspired to kill your ex-husband so you could have your children and you didn't have anything?
Right. There was nothing, there were a few things that came out in the trial that I was like, that's suspicious. But it felt like to me that the mom and the brother were just setting it up to where like Wendy would have an alibi, but they were handling it. So yes, while it looks suspicious on her end, it was them and their planning. Do I think that she found out after the fact? Yes, I do think that she was aware after the fact. There was nothing presented in this trial where I was like, no, she's for sure guilty. But the prosecution probably didn't play their full hand if they have things on just her.
No, because they're waiting for trial 5, in my
So I'll be
opinion.
interested to see. I'm sure they're looking now at everything. I mean, you've had 4 court cases brought against these people, and you've gotten guilties on all of them. So momentum's on your side a little bit here. Um, so I'll be
Yeah.
interested to see. But I did appreciate, because obviously before a verdict is read, the judge always says, please, facial expressions do not have any outcomes.
Yeah, like let's
But
not.
Donna wouldn't pull it together, and so the judge excused the jury and kind of went at her. I did think, listen, her attorneys that she paid cash money for were horrible. They were not prepared at any turn. But then the judge was ready to go ahead and sentence her same day because
Yeah.
one of the, I think it was first degree murder charge, it's an automatic life. Like, so no matter what the other ones were, automatically you've got life. But the defense attorney was like, she's not prepared to sit through sentencing. What do you mean she's not prepared? She's known what this is. But the judge did let them because Dan Marquez were there and they live in Canada. So for all 4 trials, they've been coming in for these. But they
Yeah.
were there, and so the prosecution asked that they be able to go ahead and give their victim impact statements. And so they did. Dan Markel's mom, like, she had a couple of lines where I was like, okay, good job on that. And then a lot of it, I was like, what are we doing here? But his dad's victim impact statement was really good and very targeted. So I liked that. But also, this was the 4th trial they've had to give victim impact statements. So they're just
Yeah, they're just practicing. I bet the one for Wendy's gonna be stellar.
see. Yeah, the dad at the
Um,
end. So both families are Jewish.
oh, I didn't read that
But
part.
Donna Adelson, in order to try and get under like Dan Markel's skin, was telling Wendy to like pretend that you're, moving the kids to the Christian faith and they're going to become Catholic or whatever, like digs at him. And so in Dan Markel's dad's victim impact statement, he said, there's a phrase in the Jewish faith where we wish longevity on your life. We wish for you to live to 120. He turns to Donna Adelson and goes, I wish for you to live to 120 because she'll be in prison that whole time. I was like, get him, Dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
yikes! Crazy.
Well, keep
Yeah,
an eye
that's
out to see what court cases are coming up next because all of our big ones we're now done with.
well. I've got my eye on one, which is not in your notes, and we haven't discussed. But have you heard about the Kentucky Wildcats cheerleader?
Okay. Yes, this week.
So, if you've not heard about this case, which I guess is developing into a case at this point, right now there's just been an arrest and kind of some charges, but apparently a cheerleader for the University of Kentucky was pregnant, I guess, and then we don't know what happened to the baby, but anyway, the baby was found dead in a closet. And of course, they've done an autopsy, but due to like what I read was basically based on the fact that it's a little baby. You can't tell, like, was it stillborn, whatever. So, I have to tread kind of lightly on what I'm about to say.
Now, do we know,
I
did
think.
people in her inner circle know that she was pregnant?
I don't think so. And if you're from Arkansas, and I know a lot of you watch this podcast, and so you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to use names or anything, but this actually happened to someone that we went to college with, and she was found guilty. But she had a really weird sentencing. Um, Basically, she and the baby daddy every year for, I want to say 5 years. If y'all are listening and I got that wrong, and it's seven, it's either 5 or 7 years. On the anniversary of this baby's
Passing.
birthday, death date, they had to go to jail for the night. I know, so weird. She too had concealed it, and they went like 2 or 3 years, and the baby daddy like disposed of the body via fire, if you
Oh
will.
my God.
But about 3 years later, he got drunk at a party and told a bunch of people, and they told the police.
Wow.
So I don't know. To me, it sounds like she had concealed it. I looked at the pictures and I was like, well, I probably would have thought she put on some weight. I mean, so yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens with that, just because we do have this person that we all know that this similar thing happened to, and they had this most random
Such a weird.
punishment I've ever heard of in my life.
It's just
She's a children's minister today.
oh no.
Listen, I don't know if it's defamation of character. I'm not naming your name, so, and I don't think you watch this, but that's weird, honey.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so I'm interested to see what happens with that one, but I haven't heard anything else coming out lately.
No. So.
But I did hear something that's happening this
Oh,
weekend.
do tell.
The Philadelphia Eagles are coming to Kansas City.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to get into if that's problematic in and of itself. But before we have to get to that news, probably means we're going to get our first Taylor appearance as a fiance
We're so
at a Chiefs game. So we're super excited to see that sparkly diamond. I saw where Erin Andrews and Carissa were saying on their show she just seems glowier than she already was.
Why wouldn't you?
Just like you want for your own friends.
I just love it
My-
so much.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask you a little fashion thought. What are we thinking? Are we thinking there were rumors we were going to see her in Brazil. We did not.
Yeah. Which you and I had said would have been shocked.
We really didn't think so. I mean, let's face it, last year or 2 years ago when she went to Brazil for the air tour, things didn't go well. But I am highly confused by the weather in Brazil.
Okay.
Because I feel like the Eras Tour show was around this time and we had a heat wave that killed someone, and yet this time it was in the 60s.
Listen, yeah, because you had said something about the weather, and I was like, yeah, I would assume it's probably very warm. We worried about this.
But they were all like, I could tell in like not, oh, it's hot clothes. And so I
So
was
when I
like,
Googled it and it said 60 something, I was like, what? That's strange. But I feel like last year it was the Eagles played in Brazil for the first game against somebody, and I'm pretty certain it was warm.
I don't understand the weather. Just add this to time zones and weather. It's just a lot. I'm gonna confess that, was it Friday? The game was on Friday. I'm pretty sure that morning I texted Becca and I was like, listen, it's already happened. I'm confused. What time am I watching the game? We'll get to that. But anyway, Taylor was not there, that's what we thought. There was like rumors and there was a video that looked like somebody in a box and
There's
something,
not a lot
but
of
she
family
wasn't
that
there.
goes to the Brazil games. So.
I didn't see Donna or Ed, and Jason wasn't there, so Brittany wasn't there. So yeah. But anyway, we'll get to that game. What are you thinking though? Are you thinking fashion or are we thinking Kelsey oriented?
I'm torn between two different ways that she could go. She could either go
Okay.
the one way where she incorporates like a white into all of her looks to give kind of that bridal.
Oh, like bridal white?
She did wear a
Okay.
white sweater when they went to the Cincinnati game. Like maybe
Valid.
incorporate that. Or she'll go the other way and she'll lean real heavy into team colors and 87 or Kelsey on everything. Because as much as I do not want to talk about it, and I will not talk about it further, if this potentially is his last year, like you got to get all your Kelsey stuff in now.
She says she's not going to talk about it more, but we are. Yeah, I'm leaning towards this is your first one as a fiance, so I'm leaning towards. I don't know that we'll use Kelsey because I feel like she's now in that like that is really going to be my
Yeah.
name, but it's not yet. So don't speculate that we're already married, kind of thing. But I feel like we're going to lean into our '87
Okay.
era.
I'm here for that.
I'm going Team Colors
Okay.
'87.
I like it.
So we'll see. We're thrilled and we can't wait. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's talk about some football. Um, we'll start with
Okay.
college because let's go in order of the show notes. Turns out Alabama does remember how to play football, but I don't know how much confidence this win gave you because it was ULM.
Right. Listen,
But I mean, please take it away with your
I did. I
thoughts.
did appreciate that both sides of the ball showed up to this game last week. I was not so certain they got on the
Mhm.
bus. So I appreciated this game to be like a confidence booster for them of like, okay, you got this.
Right.
I do hope that it doesn't inflate their ego too much of like, we're back, we're Alabama, because it was ULM, guys. So it was
I mean,
73 to nothing, which impressed me that we scored that much. Um, we
yeah,
did get to see,
I think that it was good.
yes, we did tackle better. Um, so, listen, we tackled,
Oh
and
man, there's always
that was
that
an improvement. Ty, still the statue, still
statue.
does not go down safely. That's not great. The amount of times he gets
No,
bent
no.
into a pretzel that I was like, well, you're not going to have a long career if we continue to do this. Um, I did
Yeah.
really like that Austin Mack, who's our backup, he got quite a few reps in. Even our third string got some reps in towards the end. So I think that that was good for them to get some actual play time. Um, I still
Yep.
need DeBoer to communicate on the sidelines. He's still just as much a statue, and he doesn't talk. Like,
Yeah.
get hyped when they do really well. When they're not doing well, when we do get stupid penalties, I need you to yell. I need you to communicate to them. That's frustrating.
Well, DeBoer came up on College Game
He did.
Day with Nick Saban, and my love of and of my fondness for Nick Saban continues to grow
I know.
weekly. It's a weird place to be for
I
me, but
appreciate that Pat McAfee does not back off of the
no.
questions.
I tell you, the vibe between McAfee and Nick Saban is so much more than I thought I
It's a
needed.
combo I never knew would work, and it works so well.
I would love to see them commentate a game
Oh,
together.
100%.
Wouldn't that not be amazing?
Yeah.
Now, there are some really good takeaways from this game that you haven't
Okay,
mentioned.
go for it.
Ty Simpson completed a school record. Now, I gotta say, any time you can get a record at the University of
That's
Alabama,
true.
impressive. But it was for 17 consecutive passes. Apparently that's never happened, and three of them went for touchdowns. So maybe the statue thing works. It's weird. I
Well,
don't
it works
know.
with ULM. We'll see. Yeah, we
Yeah,
continue.
yeah. I mean, so Ty went 17 to 17 with three touchdowns. The starting quarterback for ULM, now he only went 8 of 14 with an interception.
They
So,
had some rough go there.
yeah, so I don't really know. I mean, I will say Alabama didn't have any turnovers. They did have five penalties.
Right. That's why I need DeBoer to still be yelling.
Yeah. So, we'll see is all I can say. I mean, I think a guy like Ty Simpson probably needed this confidence boost. Like, okay, I do remember how to play
I do
football.
have this.
Can do it. And you're right, the defense was like, oh yes, this is how we wrap up and bring down to the ground. Got it.
Just more effort and hustle. And I think it's because they started getting confidence right from the start. So then they continued that effort and hustle. I just need you to do that every week. And also when you're not doing well in a game, I still need you to give that effort and that hustle.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be an interesting thing. I'm going to hold steady to my firm belief that DeBoer is the wrong answer for the University of Alabama. I cannot give it up. I do believe that to be true. So,
Okay.
an exciting one that I watched, but thankfully, well, we're going to get into it. So, I did a little gambling this weekend. I did more than you know.
Okay.
but in a very controlled sense. And I'll when we get to some of these games that I did bet on, I'm going to bring it up. This Michigan Oklahoma game, I was actually going to bet on, but we live in Kansas City, and if you're on the Missouri side of the line, you can't gamble online.
Okay.
Now, so our football game ended up getting canceled. The team forfeited. They were scared of us. So, but Ave went to play in the 8U game, so we still had to go over to Missouri
Okay.
to play for him to play in the game. So we had to be there 2 hours
How'd she
early.
do?
I don't know why. I don't know why. And so we crossed the line, and I was trying to make the bet, and I was like, "Oh shoot, Aaron, I can't place the bet because we're in Missouri." So we are like, "Let's run to Starbucks 3 minutes away," and literally it's on what's called State Line Road. We'll go over to the parking lot on the Kansas side, and I'll place my bet. Well, for whatever reason, the app wouldn't
Oh.
work, so I didn't place money on this one. Thank God, because I was all in on Michigan, who was apparently not all in on
Listen,
themselves.
I didn't watch the game, but I was very much shocked at the score at the end of the game.
So Oklahoma won 24-13, and I'll be honest, we did see this game. The score is not reflective of how well Oklahoma played.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, which is a little bit on the. I don't know if I'm going to say terrifying, but
And I just assumed
possibly.
they weren't going to do well against any decent team this year. So clearly I was mistaken on them.
Yeah, I was very stunned. I'm not sure how you pronounce the quarterback's name from Oklahoma. John, is it Mateer?
Uh,
Matier? I don't know. Anyway, he ran 2 touchdowns and he passed one.
Okay.
I it was just not what I thought. I'm pulling up my notes here. Here we go. But yeah, he was 21 of 34 for a touchdown. Now he did throw an interception. He did more with his legs, honestly, and he had 19 carries. And I feel like in the SEC football, college football, I feel like 19 carries for any quarterback, not named Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson, is a lot. But he did score 2 touchdowns. So I mean, it was weird. I don't know if Michigan has fallen off, if they're all caught up in their scandal that they're in trouble.
I mean, also sometimes
I
I
don't.
do wonder if they're like, oh, we got this, and they maybe just don't put much effort into it.
I don't know. Oklahoma had 408 yards of offense.
Okay.
And we're not playing ULM here. Like, Michigan only had 288. So, I don't know. I'm not ready to say Oklahoma's back. But I am saying
Maybe
that,
they're not as bad as originally thought.
yeah, I am saying that maybe Brent Venable keeps his job.
Okay. I
Um,
mean, they definitely
which,
needed this win. They needed.
yeah, I mean, you do want people to keep their jobs. Then next up we have Arkansas State. Y'all know I was nervous about this game. Because interstate games are just, it's not the same in Arkansas. But the Razorbacks did pull it out 56-14. Taylon Green, phenomenal game again. So, but again, Arkansas State is not Alabama. It's not Auburn. It's not, but Butch Jones,
Yeah.
Butch Jones, who used to coach in the SEC, is the coach at Arkansas State.
Listen,
Did you know that Butch Jones used to coach Travis and Jason too at Cincinnati?
I don't think I realized that.
I didn't either until I heard it on the broadcast. I was like, oh.
Interesting.
I did not get to see this game. It was not on. You had to like watch it in the ESPN app,
Okay.
as you would. 'Cause who cares about either team? But I did see the Baylor SMU game,
Okay.
and I think you watched
I
it
did
too,
not.
right?
I didn't see this one.
Why did I think that? Well, I guess maybe your sister was watching it.
Yes, she was watching this
Um,
one.
so this is one because a couple things in this one. First of all, I said Baylor was back,
You did.
and then they let me down
You
week
did.
one. SMU, we do have I have a friend. My friend from high school is the head coach at SMU. They have been on quite the run. I think it was 16 home game wins in a row. This game was in Dallas, and it came down to 2 overtimes.
Which tells me
Um,
SMU's still in the fight this year.
SMU just, oh, their poor kicker. He missed the field goal in the second overtime, and he just went to the bench, and oh, it devastated for him. I'm glad my kid's not a
Listen,
kicker.
I hate so much because then it always looks like if he had just done it, we would have won. But it's like, okay, but the whole game, we shouldn't put the whole game
Yeah,
on.
like maybe you shouldn't have had to go to
Right.
overtime if everyone had done their job. But the Baylor kicker did not miss. And they won. And I don't know. I feel something in the water about Baylor.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I did not bet on this one, but I did bet on this next one we're going to talk about. And it's kind of a devastating story, to be honest with you. Texas won 38-7 over San Jose
Yeah, they did.
State. Now, did you watch this one?
I did watch this one.
Okay. What were your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, to me, this was like the Alabama ULM game. Like you're just kind of
Yeah.
playing a throwaway team in a sense to get your confidence back. I did Arch seem to feel much more comfortable being at home. He didn't feel as rushed. I think on the plays, they did great. I think it gave them, even their defense, that confidence boost because I think San Jose had 3 straight turnovers. So I think that was a good game for Texas. Again, like Alabama, I need to see this momentum every smaller teams. Did you know that Tua's cousin plays for San Jose State?
No, is it that guy with the long last name that starts with a
I mean,
T?
Tagovailoa.
But it's not the same as his. It's not the same as
Yeah,
his.
they have the same last name.
Oh, then there's another guy with a really long T last name that's on the offensive
Oh,
line.
maybe. But yeah, they said his name and they're like, it's Tua's first cousin. And I was like, oh. His football was
Well,
runs in the
hope his
family.
brain's in better shape. That's all
Yeah.
I can say.
Protect your head, sir.
We'll get to that too. Yeah, runs in the fam. Yeah, no, I thought this was a great confidence builder for Arch. I will say he did look like his shoulder was in pain a couple
He's
times, which is, I would say, concerning as a quarterback.
You should get that figured
But he
out.
did have 4 touchdowns. He did have an interception. But yeah, I thought for Texas, again, yeah, it was a confidence builder, but yeah, like you got to see it play out. So here's what happened though. I placed 2 bets on this game,
Okay.
and I am not like super certain as to how the term money line works.
Didn't tell you.
And so, yeah. So our friend told me, he said, hey, and he's a big Texas fan, but he plays semi-pro ball, and so he was like, this is the bet I'm placing. I'm putting $1 on it for 11 things to happen, and if they hit, I'm going to win $1,000. I was like, well, for
Why
$1?
not?
So he's telling me all this. Well, usually I would be the one that would go all in. This time it was Aaron. Aaron was like, let's put $10 on it.
Okay.
And we would have won 6,000 and something.
Okay.
And so I said, I know, are you 100% confident on 11 things happening in a game? He was like, yes. He was like, the money line, maybe not. But I was like, oh, let's place a second bet then for 11 things, but the reverse of this money line
Okay.
thing for $10.
That's-
And that would have won us $12,000.
Okay.
So I'm like in, okay? We're not able to watch most of the Texas game because we were at the other, like the kid game. I was watching it on my phone, but I did not understand all 11 things that we placed. And so I was kind of unaware of how things were
Right.
going. With about 3 or 4 minutes left in the game, he texts me and he says, we only need one more thing to happen. What? He said, yeah, CJ Baxter's just got to score a touchdown and we're in. Who's like one of the top running backs in the entire country.
Right.
And Texas had the ball. So I'm like, oh, okay. So he had like 30 something yards in the last part of the game. They're driving to the end zone. There's about 1:30 left. He got hurt. Yeah. So we didn't win any money. Yeah. We were that close to that much money. It would have been the 12,000 one too.
People get addicted because you're like, I was so close.
Yeah.
I can get it next
Yeah,
time.
like I could taste it. I was already telling Aaron we're going to pay off the Dominican trip for Thanksgiving. I'm going to get my car registered, which is way overdue. Like lots of
Oh my
things.
God.
Yeah. So, but congrats to the Longhorns. CJ, best
Listen,
wishes
we
on
needed
your
a confidence
recovery.
boost after the first real week was just rough.
I'm still all in on Arch Manning. I know everybody wants to say he's a flash in the pan. It's just because of his last name. I just don't buy it. I just don't. And I know they all want to say, "Oh, he was only playing double A ball in Louisiana." Okay, yeah, maybe he had an advantage on getting a scholarship because of his last name, but he can still obviously throw the football and he can
But I
run better
also
than
think you
anyone in his
can't
family.
expect him to go out and play perfect every single game. Like,
Right.
there's going to be fumbles.
I do think the expectations were not right, but that's not him. He was the one that was like, "Y'all got to calm
Right.
down."
He's very aware of
So
what he can and can't do.
yeah, yeah.
That's his
So
problem.
yeah, which is normal. Feels right. Any other big ones from this past week you want to talk about?
No, not that I watched. I feel like I didn't watch as much college this weekend as I normally would have.
Yeah, you were kind of riding me a little bit about how I wasn't as available to you, and then now I'm finding out apparently you weren't watching
Listen,
anything.
I picked like 1 to 2 games to watch, and I focused on that, and then I didn't like flip back and forth to anything else. Also, perimenopause has really hit, and this week I just decided to
Okay.
lie on the couch. So,
Yeah. Well, there was a couple other quick little notes I wanted to bring up. First of all, I want to say congratulations to the Mississippi State
heck
Bulldogs
yeah.
who pulled off a win against number 12 Arizona
Listen,
State.
go,
24 to
go
20.
Mississippi State.
I think it was just what they needed, and it made me so happy for all of
Yeah.
them. Also, I want to point out that Florida State won. Now, again, they were playing East Texas A&M, so I get it. But they put up 77 points. I'm just saying, Gus Mal's on his back, and good luck to the rest of you.
Yeah. After they did such
The
a
other
great
one I
season,
did
and
catch,
then last year they did so horrible, it is nice to be back.
yeah, the only other one I wanted to mention, and I didn't realize how much of a, I don't know if you call this a rivalry or how weird this game dynamic was, but was the Ole Miss Kentucky game.
Okay.
Because again, we forget that Kentucky plays
Yes.
football. But apparently that has been like a thorn in the side of Ole
Okay.
Miss. And I guess I missed that. But anyway, that game was actually far more interesting than I thought it would be. It was 30 to 23. Ole Miss did win. I believe his name is Keywan Lacey.
Okay.
He rushed for 138 yards, which I mean honestly is a
Yeah.
lot in college. I will say their little quarterback. Have you been following much about him?
I have not. For some reason, I've not been into Ole Miss this year like I normally pay attention.
Well, I mean, he's no Jackson
Right.
Dart, let's be honest. His name is Austin Simmons. I want to say he's
Oh,
19,
wow.
but he's already completed his degree.
I'm sorry, what?
Uh, I know. It's
I'm
very
so
unheard of
used to
because
the players being like 27, 32.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now, I'm not real sure I don't know what Lane's going to do with him. He threw for 235 yards, but he didn't throw any touchdowns. He did throw 2 interceptions,
Okay.
but they had 3 rushing touchdowns. I mean, they had one receiver who had 117 yards. So, I mean, it's like the boy can throw the ball, but I guess we can't finish the job.
Interesting.
I don't know. But, yeah, so we did see, unless it's rumor, y'all know that I fall for everything on the internet, but it looks like we may be getting a Lane Kiffin documentary.
Okay. I actually would not be surprised if this was actually true.
It looked true, right? It looked like a real
What you
trailer.
sent me, I was like, this seems legit. And I feel like I heard, oh, there was some analyst or somebody was talking about it this weekend. So I'm going to go with that it's true.
Well, I mean, I would appreciate it because I think it would be very fascinating.
There was one other
All right, so
game.
let's.
Sorry, there was one. We didn't get to
Oh,
watch it because it was not in our on our TVs out in Texas. But the Border Wars game, Missouri versus
oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I did have a note about the Missouri Kansas game.
Kansas is
It was a very
a
big deal
four-letter
here,
word
of
at our
course.
house. My husband is very against Kansas.
Well, listen, not growing up here, I didn't realize that. Yeah, that is like a serious thing around here, and it's like literally every other house in a neighborhood. And
Well, it's
so,
been a few years since
yeah,
they've done the Border War.
yeah. So they played this weekend, and did you see the kicker, the like kicking contest participant?
No.
So before the game, or it may have been at halftime, I believe. Sometimes they'll do that thing
Yes.
where like, hey, random person from the audience come out here, and if you make this field goal, we'll give you $25,000. So they did this, and at the time, it was the other, like the teams had already come back to the sidelines or were getting on the sidelines. So he goes to, and it's $25,000. Listen, I don't care how much of a prank somebody's dared me to do. I'm still going to do
Right.
the job.
I'm gonna figure out how to do
This
that.
fool, though, he runs like he's going to kick, and he gets up to the ball, and instead he turns to the KU sideline, raises his shirt, and he's got the word KU on his chest.
Oh, okay. What are we doing?
And kicked the ball at the sideline.
What?
Listen, now, I'm all for a good prank, but $25,000? I hope your friends paid you that much to do that.
What an idiot.
Yeah. I don't know. It was intense. But yeah, we were actually, Judd had a baseball scrimmage, and everyone in the stands, all they could talk about.
Sure.
Just, and of course, like each person was a different fan. And so I was like, y'all are getting real heated.
Yeah.
Like this is.
Listen, it's a test game.
So, but congratulations to the Mizzou Tigers. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently that's a thing around here, which I just can't get into because, I don't like either team. So, Whatever.
Listen, we've already been set on the teams that we support, so adding new ones in at this age, we're not
yeah,
there.
it's just not my forte.
At most, we'll bandwagon it for a year.
Yeah, I mean, I may hop on with somebody, but I'm not going to be fully committed.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to predict a few games for this coming
Why not?
weekend?
We're clearly on a roll.
Yeah. God, I don't know if I'm putting any money on any of these because college has scared me. Now, we'll talk about my pro bets here in a little bit because I did a lot better with that. But Wisconsin is coming to Alabama. Now, Wisconsin is 2-0 so far this season. Their quarterback, first of all, has a mullet. So
As you should.
that feels
As
like
you should.
a commitment. Now, in last week's game, he scored 4 touchdowns, but he did throw 2 interceptions.
Right.
So, I mean, there's that. I'm assuming you're going to go with the Crimson Tide victory?
Absolutely. Listen, they can be
Okay,
losing
100%.
and deplorable. We'll always go Alabama.
Okay. I mean, Wisconsin is not ranked currently. Alabama is 19th in the country.
Alabama.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, you know how I feel about home field advantage.
Yes.
So hang on, I have it written down. Okay, yeah. Wisconsin ranks 17th in defensive third down percentage, allowing their opponents to convert 48% of the time.
Okay.
So I feel like that's not great. But I will say that the other thing that's not great is that Alabama is 97th in all of college football, averaging almost 63 yards in penalties per game.
Well, it's accurate.
So I don't know. Now Wisconsin defeated Middle Tennessee Saturday 42-10.
Well,
I don't feel like that's a great thing. So I am actually going to bandwagon here, and I'm going to go Alabama.
hey, we like it when you come to our side.
I don't know if it's a curse or a blessing, is all I can tell you. But yeah.
Okay.
So then next up we have Georgia at Tennessee.
Listen, I know that all the analysts are projecting Georgia to take this one. I just feel like
Ooh.
Tennessee.
You feel an upset?
I kind of do. I feel like they don't like being considered the underdog, and it kind of makes them fight a little bit harder, and it's home field advantage. So I'm actually going to go Tennessee on this one.
Okay. I actually am going Tennessee as well, based on quarterback play alone. Stockton only has 2 touchdowns last week, and Aguilar had 5. So
The Tennessee doing well and their quarterback doing well when Mr. Nico Iamaleava
oh
not
gosh,
doing so hot at UCLA.
Yeah. Now Georgia last weekend. This is why I have pause for concern for them. Georgia won over Austin. How do you say it? Peay. How do y'all say that in Texas?
Pay. Is it right?
Austin Peay.
Doug just walked by. I thought maybe he'd know.
No, he didn't know either. Now Stockton had no touchdowns in this game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't get a touchdown against Austin Pay?
It is
Like,
concerning.
that to me, I'm like, that's pause for
Yeah.
concern, if I'm being honest. It's not just your hair is bad, potentially you are bad as well,
Right.
sir. So I'm going to go Tennessee at home.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, the goalposts are coming down.
100% they're coming down.
They are going out of Neyland Stadium. They are headed straight through all of Knoxville.
We're not pretending like we've been here before. We're just
No.
everything
Well, barely have we,
storming
so.
the field. Yeah.
All right, so number 7 Texas is going to host UTEP this week.
Yep.
Another home game. What are you thinking?
I mean, obviously, I'm going to go Texas. Not only are they going to build from this week's momentum, but it's UTEP, so they struggle offensively on a good day.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be Texas by a lot.
Yeah. I will say that the UTEP quarterback this past weekend threw for 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. Now, however, they played the University of Tennessee at Martin.
Okay.
That's basically a community
Right.
college. So, yeah, I just don't see this. Now, I do feel like we may see a little more of Arch's backup in this one, especially if that shoulder's hurting.
Yes, I agree. Let's get out ahead.
'Cause I feel like this is, one that we like kind of, let's take it easy. This next one, I appreciate you putting this on here so much. Sarcasm, amuck. My 2-0 Razorbacks are going down to Oxford, Mississippi to take on the 2-0 Ole Miss Rebels.
Okay.
What say you?
Listen, I feel like I'm going more on vibes on this one, and I'm actually going Arkansas for the win.
Whoa, whoa,
I know.
whoa. Okay.
I just
What is your key to this strange
I think
discovery?
I was so into Ole Miss last year, and this year I just
Sure.
can't get into them. And I feel like Arkansas has got a little bit of confidence under their, seat. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to see an Arkansas potentially pull it out. I do think it'll be
Oh,
close.
man.
I do.
You're not going to be able to tell me anything next week if
We're
this
not.
happens.
We're not.
Nothing. I actually am going Arkansas as well. And I will say for those of you who are like, oh, she's such a homer. No, I actually will bet against Arkansas.
You will.
I
will.
I will. I just am a realist. Yeah, yeah. Becca will drown underneath the weight of a terrible Alabama team. Not me. I will burn that ship down. I'm going quarterback play alone though.
Okay.
I just think that Taylon Green, he was 239 this past weekend. I get it. It was Arkansas State. 4 touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
But he also carried the ball for 151 yards.
It's impressive.
I mean, and he is a mountain of
Yeah.
a man. Like, I'm just saying that I feel like, and he's more experienced. I'm going to tell you, if this game was in Fayetteville, I'm not going to say blowout, but I think it would be a handed victory for Arkansas because that young kid on the road, I just don't see it.
Okay.
But I do think Arkansas is going to pull this
do.
out.
I think it's their year.
But we'll see. Do you have any other games you want to bring up?
Not from college.
Yeah, I don't think they're. I double checked. You did see that Florida lost to South Florida, right?
I did. Like at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they're playing Miami this weekend, and somehow that's been billed a big deal. But the only other game I would bring up is that Texas A&M is going to play Notre Dame.
They are. And I
don't know. I am completely at a loss with Notre Dame this season. I don't know. The experts are saying 71% are going Notre Dame.
Okay.
On the season, the A&M quarterback has thrown 7 touchdowns already. Carr's only thrown 2. But it's at Notre Dame.
Either way, I'm not going to be surprised.
Yeah. I mean, I do think Notre Dame has, faced, obviously, so they played Miami and lost 27-24, and then they played Ohio State and they lost 34-23. But I do feel like that's better competition than, the University of Texas at San Antonio or Utah State.
Yeah. I will say, man, they really built themselves a tough first part of the schedule.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm like, what were y'all thinking? That's weird.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Notre Dame. Which feels
Why
weird,
not?
but All right, let's talk a little
Woo!
NFL.
So many games.
We had our first game of the season last Thursday. The Dallas Cowboys went to Philadelphia.
Ugh, it was
Took,
ugly.
took a big L. Took a big L here. Well, we both watched
We did.
this.
I get that they hate each other, but the constant fighting is just no fun as a fan to watch. Like, I want you to play football. Don't
Yeah.
listen.
So if you're not familiar, the game was, getting started, and whatever happened. So Dak Prescott says that he spits a lot during the game, and he says that yes, he was taunting the Eagles, but that he was not spitting at the Eagles. Jalen Carter, on the defensive line for the Eagles, took offense to this, and he then spit literally in Dak's face. So he was ejected from the game.
Before he even played a freaking snap.
And Jalen Carter is kind of a controversial figure in general.
Listen,
If you're not
Georgia
familiar,
baby.
he was a part of Car.
And he's
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All we gotta tell you is he went to Georgia, so obviously the police were involved. But so this one was a lot closer than I would have thought. 24-20. I tell you what killed me on this one. I did put a little money on this one. All I needed was AJ Brown to have 2 receptions, not touchdowns.
I don't know that they remembered AJ's on this.
Catch the ball twice. He caught it once. That also killed me in fantasy football. Devontae Smith also only 1 catch.
It worries me a lot for the Eagles that Jalen ran it so many times. What are we doing?
I don't know. I will say, if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm pretty excited about Javonte Williams at running back.
I think the Cowboys looked good for the Cowboys.
I actually did too. I mean, I don't know. CeeDee Lamb let me down in fantasy football too. But yeah, I mean, listen, they're not going to the Super Bowl.
Not even the playoffs, if we're being honest. But
Yeah.
it was nice to
But,
see them do well. Even though they lost, like, I felt like they still looked pretty good. So that was nice to see. I loved that Landon Dickerson was out there for the Eagles.
Yeah.
I was concerned about him, but it looks like he's okay and will be able to play.
Yeah.
So they did have a weather delay towards the end of the game.
Yeah, so I didn't see the end.
Okay, so the funny thing was, obviously they've been playing for a while. They go into the locker room for a weather delay. Those boys are going to eat. Well, apparently the Cowboys locker room did not have food ready for them, and so Mr. Trayvon Diggs
Oh yeah, I did
just
see
walked
that.
around and found a suite that had some food that people had offered him, so he just started eating it, and then
I mean,
why not? Listen,
props to you, my man. I
he
mean,
was solving it. He found
I like
person
it.
pushing a
Let's be
deli
creative.
tray, and he was like, "Hey, can I have a sandwich?" And they were like, "We're actually going to the locker room." And he's like, "Perfect."
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I didn't see the end of this game, but I will say a couple things I thought were worrisome for the Eagles. And I need there to be some worrisome since they're coming here this week. Number one, yeah, the passing game
Not
was
great.
completely irrelevant. And then I would assume Jalen Carter potentially will be suspended this week.
It'll be interesting to see what they do. He'll definitely be fined, but I'm also going to be
Yeah.
interested. Are they going to go back and like fine or do anything to Dak? Because
Yeah, I know, because
there is still video footage of that.
yeah, I don't know. That was weird. The other thing, though, that I found concerning for Philadelphia, and again, first game of the
Yeah.
season, but 9 penalties for 110 yards
It's a lot.
against a non-Cowboys team, that could be dangerous.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We will see. Next up, our Chiefs went down to Brazil and they played the Chargers. We did lose. And honestly, to be frank with you, we deserved to lose.
100%.
Listen, I have never in my life seen a Spags defense that looked as terrible as the defense looked. And I mean start to finish. You want to blame it on the secondary? Sure, they look terrible. Chris Jones, I know we're buddies, my friend, but what were you doing? You let Joe Alt handle you like you were a child.
But they looked like the team that played at the Super Bowl. Play
lost,
calling was
despondent, like in a fog.
yeah.
It was
And
terrible.
again, why are we not utilizing Kareem Hunt? When you did utilize him, he was great. And then you just stopped after like 2 times.
I don't I don't understand. I thought some of my biggest takeaways. I thought Nagy, whatever his play calling was
We
horrific.
gotta change that.
If we don't get Eric Benham, if we don't make it to the Super Bowl, A, or B, we make it and lose again, and they don't fire him and get Benham back here,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Do you think they
Like
realize
it
that
is
Nagy's a problem?
terrible.
I know he's well liked and he's well respected as well as he should be, but like he's a problem for the Chiefs.
I don't know. I thought it was terrible. I will say on the positive notes for the Chargers, I thought Justin Herbert, as you know, I always say every season in fantasy football,
Yeah.
this is the one season I did not pick him up as my backup. He looked fantastic, but I'm going to tell you, that was his offensive line. He had days upon days to throw the
Yeah.
ball, and he was throwing to receivers who were not being covered. So, I mean,
No.
listen. Now we did have an.
I was gonna say
What
that
were you
one
gonna say?
play where the Butker had to like rush out to kick the field goal.
I thought that was
I
impressive.
was so impressed by the speed with which they set it up and like he just went in, kicked it. Listen, I'm glad we have him. I'm glad.
Well, and congrats to you for having Dicker the kicker since you stole him.
He's just been on my
But
bench
anyway,
this week.
we did have a bit of a tragedy. A little crossing route pattern at the beginning of the game, and Travis and Xavier Worthy collided. Sounds like we may be escaping horrificness, and it may be just dislocated, wear a brace. But gosh, that's still not what you want because it's going to be Ginger if he falls again.
Well, and I think they
Ugh.
were relying heavily on him this year. Like he was,
Yeah, especially with Rasheed out we got 5 more games without him.
but listen, I need Xavier to put some weight and muscle on.
I need Hollywood. I mean, listen, Hollywood had a fantastic game, but he's another one, accident prone, so
Yeah.
skinny. But I mean, he did have 10 receptions, and we needed
Yeah.
him. Travis got a touchdown. I know that he is going to be despondent on New Heights this week. I honestly don't even want to watch it.
I felt like you saw him yelling at Jawan Taylor, which rightfully so. Why is Jawan
Listen,
still
I
out there?
cannot understand how this man is still being paid 5 penalties on his own. 5.
No. So Travis was yelling at him. Then you got Chris Jones yelling at Drew Tranquil. What are we doing, guys?
It seemed very. Now, here's the thing. Am I hitting the panic button?
No.
The Chiefs always start out slow. The biggest issue to me that I saw was honestly the defense.
Yeah.
Because I have seen where people were saying, well, the Chiefs don't really get to practice as much run defense because we don't run the ball as much. Which I will say Pacheco was so irrelevant in this game. So that makes me nervous facing Saquon and Jalen
Yeah.
this weekend. And then if they do decide to throw the ball, I don't know where we were. Like, I mean, Drew Tranquil played lights out. He had 2 sacks. There was one time we thought he got hurt. Yeah. But I mean, Chris Jones looked like he was stuck in neutral. He could not get through the line. I think the defense alone, I'm not worried about the offense. Even with Xavier being out, they'll figure something out. It's still Mahomes. But that defense is scary.
Yeah. I'm sure, but listen, we've got enough veterans on that line that I'm sure they're going back to the drawing board this week and they're going to hold each other accountable. So I'm real
Yeah.
interested to see what they look like this next week, especially knowing that they're going against the Eagles and they have some unfinished business with them. So
Well, and
I do
I just want
Friday
to.
night game. I really,
I did enjoy that too. I will say that the Jawan Taylor thing, I'm not over
No.
yet. We only had 6 penalties on the whole game, and he had 5
yeah.
of them.
Listen, we've been mad at him the last couple of years because of all those penalties. So
I don't understand. We've got Jalen Moore, who, yes, I understand, played left tackle, back up at the 49ers. Just flip to the right
Yeah.
side, sir.
same job.
We're fine.
Same job.
Yeah, you're just on the other side. It's actually easier on the right side than the left. So, yeah, but it was my only pause for concern was really the defense. We always start out slow.
Yeah.
Uh, And but I will say I think the Chargers look good this season. I thought Derwin James always has Travis's number. That
Yeah.
continued. That's of no surprise. Honestly, everybody was like, "Oh, Travis hit Xavier Worthy." Derwin was edging Travis towards the line so he couldn't make his slant, and they just weren't looking at each other. And you've got to be more aware. And Travis is destroying himself.
Of course.
But at least, maybe he and Patrick can like work through this mentally together since Patrick broke Rasheed's knee
That's
last
true.
year. So
That's true.
if we can maybe not hurt each other, that would be
Yeah.
great.
God.
Um, Big win for Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to tell you, that was such a good game to watch.
And he looked like he had multiple plays on the run, throwing off his back foot that were darts. He still got it.
I don't think I realized how much animosity he had towards the Jets. Obviously, you
oh,
knew like it wasn't a great relationship. I just didn't realize how deep that went into the conversations that were had. But he played with a purpose of destroying them. And I'm going to tell you, the Jets looked good. They
I thought the Jets were going to pull this one
did
off.
too.
They kind of fell apart right at the end. And I really thought it was the veteran leadership of Aaron Rodgers, honestly, that won this game for them. And that's hard for me to say because I hate
No,
him. But
but he did get sacked
um,
a couple of times, and so that made me okay with it.
yeah, one of which was his fault, I thought. But there were probably three that their left tackle, I was like, sir, did you forget your job? Were you paid to let them through the line? What
Yeah.
happened? Um, I will say that again, defense for the Steelers shaky at
Oh yeah.
best. And I find that weird.
But you got
I just
a
find it
very
weird.
veteran defense. And you
Yeah,
finally,
I
Cam
mean
Hayward
it's
got his extension. Now we don't have to hear him in the media talking about how he can't provide for his family because apparently $145 million is not enough. My
uh huh,
man,
uh huh.
I can't. But I will say, I think if the Jets can clean up all the penalties they get, which last year they were one of the most penalized teams, they do it to themselves. And I know that Aaron Glenn, that's one of the things that he's really harped on them with. They did better this game with the penalties, but they still had quite a few. So if they can clean that
Yeah.
up, like they've got a legit shot to be much better. Again, we're not going to see them in the playoffs. But they're not going to be the embarrassing team that they've been the last couple of years.
No, they're on the right trajectory.
We've got some
So I
other
mean,
teams that are taking embarrassment for the year.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Bills Ravens game last night was fan freaking
Oh my gosh.
tastic.
So, first off, before we get into this game, can we just talk about,
Yeah,
did you watch Jet Steelers game?
part of
Okay,
it. Yeah.
JJ Watt as an in-game analyst, I'm here
Uh
for
huh.
it. I am
Yeah, I thought he was good. I didn't know where you were going with that. Yeah, I was like, what's happening in this conversation? That's not in the
so
notes.
there's so many bad ones because you need so many analysts to cover all of these games, but it just feels like
Yeah.
you get like the Tony Romos and the Chris Collins, and they're
Oh,
just horrendous. I felt like JJ just like he would call plays before they even did it, like just common sense stuff. It's so good,
yeah.
so good.
Yeah, no, I thought he was good. I did see somebody this weekend had on a Chiefs shirt, and I wouldn't wear this because it has a curse word on it, but it had the little Chiefs emblem at the top, and it just said "Shut the f up, Tony Romo,"
I'm here for
because
it.
we do get him a lot. I don't know why, but he is terrible. I felt like buying it for your sister because she really appreciates
Yes,
Tony
yeah,
Romo.
loves him.
So the Bills came down to Baltimore,
It was a better
and
game than even I thought it was going to be.
I knew it was going to be good
Well,
because they're
yeah,
two
I
powerhouses.
just
But I honestly, let me back up and say, if you didn't watch the game, the Ravens were in control of
you
this
didn't
game.
watch the whole game. I think a lot
Yeah,
of people gave up around the third quarter.
yeah, I'm sure that a lot of Bills fans turned it off, and
I
you
mean, so many were
mistakenly did
leaving
that.
the stadium.
I mean, honestly, I thought it was over and really just had it on to like fall asleep
Same.
to. Derrick Henry looked incredible as
But
usual. Lamar was on, and yeah, the Bills just couldn't quite get it together until
until they had to.
the last half of the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden they were like, Nah, I don't want to lose
Right.
this one. And Josh Allen. So I put some money on this game,
Oh, yes, you did.
and I needed, Lord, now I can't even remember what it was. Let me look. Oh yeah, I needed Josh Allen to throw. So it's weird the way it reads. He needed to throw over 1.5 touchdowns, and I know you're like, how do you throw half of one? I don't know why they put it that way. That means he needs to throw
Right.
two. I needed Derrick Henry to score a touchdown,
Clearly.
and I needed Josh Allen to run a touchdown. I felt good about this bet, but there I was in the last part of the fourth quarter, and he had only thrown one, and he had not run one. Now Derrick Henry, it was done
Yeah,
early.
he was there.
And I was like, am I going to lose another $20? Really? But there at the last, I'm telling you, Josh Allen was a beast.
Something kicked into that team, which is what I keep hoping will kick into the Chiefs, of like, we're not losing this. We let you
Yeah.
guys think that you have it. We're not losing this. And they just continue. To me, it's one of those like clear examples for kids that play sports. Fight until the very last second
Very
of the
end.
game, because you never know. Fourth quarter started and I about fell asleep. I was like, they're not pulling this out. We're
Yeah.
done. I'm gonna tell you, it was such a good game of grit and leadership. It
Yeah.
was so good to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, Judd was laying in my bed watching it with me, and it was getting late. It was 10 o'clock, and I was like, you need to go on to bed. And he idolizes Josh Allen because, I mean, potentially Judd will probably be built like Josh Allen, that big, stocky kind of build as a quarterback. And so he's like, I just really want to see Josh play. And I was like, maybe he's lost this game. And he's like, no, I want to watch. Well, he was right. I let him stay up. And I'm so glad I did too, because you're right. It was such a lesson. He's really going through kind of something I can't get into because I do know somebody watches this podcast. But in my opinion, right now should show you what I think of you watching this. But he needed to see that. You're right. I think that it. I will say, it does not scare me as a Chiefs fan though.
No.
Because what I saw is what we always see with the Bills and the Ravens both. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson, listen, he cannot finish the job. He has proven it for 8 seasons. He cannot finish the job.
It's like
And
they
did you
have a
see him
poster
come
child
off the
for, like,
field?
we get ahead and we do so well, and then we just take our foot off the gas. Derrick Henry
Did you
doesn't,
see him come?
but
Well, but it was his fumble. It was his
Here's the
fumble
thing,
at the end of the
I think
game.
I figured out what his problem was yesterday.
Oh, well, he may need to
It
hear
was his
this.
pants. It was his pants. I kept telling Doug, I said, I have a problem with the Ravens' pants and I cannot figure out what it is. What is the problem here? And Doug was like, they all look like leggings. Women's leggings is what they were wearing last night.
Yep.
Because a lot of
Okay.
times you'll see like the black pants is fine, but they've got them like pulled up to their knee, or there's like a gap. All of them
Yeah, you can
had
see some
pulled
skin.
to their shoes, and I was like, you guys look like fools. But also this is how I watch football, guys. I'm always curious
Yeah.
as to how their pants don't come down because they're already riding kind of low.
Oh, they're tight as. Listen, having to get 2 kids in them every weekend, I can tell you they're tighter than
They're
tight.
super tight, but then you've got people grabbing at your waist, pulling you down.
Yeah.
Like, I never see any of the players' underwear, even though I'm shocked constantly by it. Last night, every Ravens player saw their underwear, every single one of them, and I was like, I think it's their pants that's throwing them off.
Need to talk to the equipment
Yeah.
team.
Derek kept
I
every
didn't
time
know.
he would do something, he would pull at his pants, and he kept trying to pull them. He had gray striped underwear on. Right? I should know that. I should not have that
Didn't
information.
know what to do. That's interesting. I didn't notice it. I did notice the like black all the way down to the toe, but I thought that was like just a look. I don't know.
Also, I have a question. Maybe you'll know. You know how Lamar Jackson, he always wears like the full headpiece, neck piece, and it covers his chin.
Yeah, they call that a ski mask because it's all the rage.
Okay, I was like, that feels like something you would wear for a cold game, but he wears.
So yeah. Okay, so this is the thing, and it's been a thing at our house too. So this is like the trend with the kids apparently, and I think perhaps it began with him, and Stephon
Yes,
Diggs does
does
it
it
too.
too.
So all the kids want them too, but Judd even said last night, and I have said yes. When it gets cold here, I will buy them for y'all, but I'm not buying them when it's
I was
80
gonna say,
degrees
it
outside.
feels like if I can shed some things, that'd be great.
I think his is an insecurity thing.
Okay, because he's always
I really do. Because if you notice, he's always playing with it
yes.
too.
So it's like a
And
defense
so I
game
think
for him. Like it just
it's I think kind of a nervous tick. It's the same thing that Patrick Mahomes does with his Invisalign mouth guard.
okay.
You notice how he always like has it out and he's
Yep.
chewing on it. That thing is flipping around all the
Yep.
time. I think it's like a nervous thing that he has, but yeah, those things are all the rage here.
Okay.
Aaron has a lot of issues with kids wearing them outside of games because he's afraid it's going to look like you're trying to rob
He's not
somebody.
wrong.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing we've had to fight about. But did you see Lamar Jackson coming off the field and what he did to the Bills fan?
Oh, when he shoved him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
not a great look, my guy.
but the fan was shoving Derrick Henry and then shoved Lamar. So I get
I agree. I don't think he'll be penalized for it, but I just thought, like,
you don't
ugh.
do it to a
Um,
man, but
yeah.
on the
But no, I will
like,
say,
I get it.
yeah, we got a question just this morning, like, did this game scare us about the Chiefs? It did not, because again, I saw what I always
Yeah.
see. Neither one can finish the job. And I will say for the Bills, I think their defense needs a lot of work.
Yeah.
I think Josh Allen and Keon Coleman have a very good connection.
Leon looked good.
Did you see towards the end of the game? It was on like 2 minute drive. I swear to you, he jumped 7 feet in the air to catch
Yeah.
the ball.
Listen,
Like he jumped higher than the defender's height. I was like, holy
when he
moly.
caught that, I was like,
Um,
how do you do that?
well, and I said, oh gosh, that was a terrible throw. And Judd, being my little football savant at 9, he was like, no, mommy, he had to put it there. He was like, because otherwise, and I was like, stop being so smart about football. Go study some math. But I will say something that I thought was problematic, and I think maybe Judd has him in fantasy because he was very upset about this. James Cook was irrelevant at the end of the game.
Yes.
You know, he fought tooth and nail for some money. But I got to be honest, I freaking love Josh Allen. Like, I just root for him, and I don't want any ill will, but I
Right.
mean, I don't want him to beat him.
Listen, if
But
it's not the Chiefs I'm cheering for, I'm always cheering for Josh Allen. Whatever team he goes for.
yeah, I'm not cheering for the Bills because there's literally I cannot name you one other player that I'm like, oh, I really like him for the Bills. But I'm always cheering for Josh Allen.
Always.
If I'm the Ravens, I'm like, holy hell, here we go again.
Yeah. Yeah. I know they're beating
Can't finish
themselves
the
up today. I know Derek is taking that entire loss on himself.
Yeah. All right, let's predict a couple games. The Bills are going to play at the Jets.
You know what?
Are you predicting an
I'm
upset?
gonna go Jets on this one.
Woo!
I think
I could see
think
it.
they looked really good. I
Yeah.
think that they don't want to be an embarrassment this year, so they're going to come even harder this next week. I mean, they looked great against a very veteran team in the Steelers. So I'm actually going to go Jets on this one.
Well, I'll go opposite just for the sake of it, but I would not be surprised. The Patriots are going down to Miami, who look deplorable over the
I'll tell you
weekend.
what, Miami is the embarrassment this year.
Yeah, I'm going hardcore Patriots.
100% I'm going Patriots.
I'm going to say 2 touchdowns.
Okay, I could easily see that. Yeah.
And then next up, we never bet against them, but the Eagles are coming to Kansas City this weekend. I will be gone, so we will not be at the game. In fact, I may be watching this in the airport because I have a late flight that night. What's the key to the game for you? We're not going to bet against the Chiefs, but what are you thinking?
I think our defense is going to have to step up. We've really got to watch Jalen. He's very comfortable running it himself if you take away any of his receivers. So I think our key is going to be that we've really got to step up. And our offense has got to hold. You've got to give Patrick some time.
I'm interested to see this week if they're saying that Xavier is dislocated, so it's brace, probably 2 weeks. I still wonder if we'll see Brett Veach go get somebody.
I know. That's what I'm curious.
Because that's definitely a re-injury
But even if
risk.
you go with
Allen
somebody,
Robinson,
you've only got a couple of days to get comfortable.
get him in the offense. You need a veteran at this point. Allen Robinson's out there still. And he even put on the internet. He put on Twitter, "Hey, I'm available." I would go. I've seen a lot of people saying because they saw Tyreek Hill throwing another one of his tantrums on the sideline in the Dolphins game. A lot of people are saying, that he's been wanting to come back. Maybe they'll go get him. He knows the offense.
I don't know if his behavior and his
Don't
attitude
see
would
it.
be something we.
I don't see Veach doing it. I think if he was ever going to do it, he would have already done it, and I just don't see it. But I am interested to see if we pick anybody up, and I think that there is a part of me that believes that Spags' legacy rides on this game.
I would agree with that.
So I just need them to show up. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It scares me. Okay, how did your fantasy football team do? We still have one more game tonight. I don't know if you have any players in play.
I have players.
She can't even get it out,
On
y'all.
my fantasy team is
Let me pull it up.
horrible this year. We're not good.
Listen, I lost as well this week, and I had Josh Allen get me almost 40 points.
Listen, I had a total of 93 points, and I was playing against moving on up, and they had 151 points.
Yeah, I lost 107 to 91. I tell you what killed me, and it's funny, is I went out and grabbed the Ravens defense real early in our draft because they're ranked number 1 in the NFL. They got me -7. -7. But Travis got me almost 13. And then Malik Neighbors got me 12. Kyron Williams got me almost 14. So, I was
Okay.
pretty good. I didn't have anybody on my bench. Well, I'm sorry. I take that back. I had Hollywood on my bench. He would have gotten me 20 points. As opposed to Devontae Smith, who got me 4.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I did, Patrick Mahomes, he got me 26 points. Again, he ran the whole time. And then my other one, Emeka Egbuka, which
Oh, yeah. They're saying big things for him
listen,
for the
glad I
Bucks.
grabbed him. He got me
Yeah.
23 points. My Chiefs defense got me 2, but at least it wasn't negative, so I guess they're glad.
-7,
I
yeah,
did
because that's
have
fine.
Xavier Worthy on my team, so that
Ooh.
hurt me quite a
Ooh.
bit.
Yeah.
Uh,
That
and
killed
really
you.
just nobody else showed up and did anything big. Now Aubrey, my kicker, he did get me 11 points, so that's good.
Yeah. I played against our friend Kevin. He had Saquon, who got him 18. Debo Samuel got him 22. J.K. Dobbins got him 14, but he had the Broncos defense. And I told you I'm worried about the Broncos. They got him 16 points. Now, again, it was against the Titans, 20-12 victory, but still,
Yeah.
2 fumble recoveries. I was like, ooh. Yeah, so what's it looking like for you this next week?
I can't figure that out.
I can't either. I saw it in the notes and I was like, I don't know how we get to that because it won't show us until
Yeah,
today's
for some reason
over.
I was thinking we could see next week, but we can't, so we'll talk
Yeah.
about it, next.
We'll talk about it next week. So I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see. Okay. Are you ready to answer some
Let's do
questions? I'll stick on the football note because we're kind of on that topic. I'll move around a little bit. From Kevin, not the Kevin that beat me this week, thankfully. Is Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, or Lamar Jackson a first ballot Hall of Famer if they never win the Super Bowl?
I mean, I go back and forth. I feel like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, they still have won NFL MVPs.
A lot,
They've still
yeah.
done really great for themselves, so I feel like they could still potentially get in as a first ballot without winning a Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about Joe Burrow, which stinks because he's still a great quarterback.
Well, I lost money on Joe Burrow this weekend for what I think is the stupidest thing humanly possible. All he had to do was throw 2 touchdowns, and one had to be to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase only caught 2 balls in the whole game, none of which were for a
When
touchdown.
I saw that they barely beat the Browns, I was like, what?
And Joe only had 1 touchdown
Yeah.
throw. Like, how did I lose money on that? What?
Listen, your defense
Yeah.
didn't have to be great to hold the Browns back, but
No.
that shows the
Um,
offense off this year with the Bengals.
I don't know. I agree with Josh and Lamar. I think the MVPs, and I think just the way they've had Josh is like the heroics.
Yes.
I still think Josh could end up winning a Super Bowl. I think they're just like a few ingredients off. I do not think Lamar Jackson ever will.
No, which is sad because their team just looks so good every year.
On paper,
Yeah.
yeah. But
But no, I think you're right.
Jim Kelly, listen, if you're a Bills fan, Jim Kelly is another one who played quarterback and obviously is very well known at the Buffalo Bills. He never won a Super Bowl either, and he's in the Hall of
Yeah.
Fame. So,
I mean, the Hall of Fame does
um,
go mostly off of individual accomplishments. Super Bowls help, but I'm
yeah,
pretty sure there's been
there's got to be a lot of
Dan
people in there that
Marino,
didn't win.
he's won,
Yeah,
Barry Sanders, Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, Joe Thomas, and Jason Taylor. All first ballot. None of them won a Super Bowl. So
yeah. First ballot's an interesting thing though, because like Eli Manning didn't get in on
that
first ballot.
shocked me.
Me too, and he's won a Super
Yeah.
Bowl. So
Listen, you just never
I
know.
don't know.
You never know.
Okay, from Seth, what new uses for AI can you see beneficial in sports? So they are using this year the
First down,
yardage first down marker
which I
AI
kind of
camera,
like.
whatever you really.
I kind of
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Do you have any other new uses
I mean,
for
the
it?
only other one, because I had to look up and I was like, what are we even using AI for right now? But they were saying that it's used for real-time biomechanic analysis to analyze athletes' forms when they're doing certain maneuvers and things to try and
Hmm.
prevent potential injuries.
Yeah, the helmet
And they can do
stuff.
it during
Yeah.
training as well. And so I was like, well, that's fantastic use of AI for that.
Yeah.
So,
I think that yeah, I think that the helmet to helmet thing is key because there's so many different times like knowing is he like purposely pulling his head down to lead with his head or is it just happenstance? The other one, and it actually happened a couple times in the Bills game last night, is knowing is it a catch or did they use the ground to secure the ball?
oof.
That because that one to me now I don't know how you listen. I don't
Well,
know how
because
you would do
winds
that
of the
with
ball are
AI,
still
but
going to hit the ground even if you've secured the catch.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I don't know how you
Yeah.
do it, but surely somebody's smart enough to figure it out. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it evolves the game though.
Yep.
Okay, from Stella, we're gonna get off of football. From Stella, and this is a funny one. Thoughts on all the incestuous dating in pop culture? Everyone dating their friends' exes.
We've kind of talked about this a
I
little
don't.
before.
Yeah, I don't know what brought this up to your mind, Stella. It has been on my mind
What's
as I've
that?
spoken to Becca about lately with Zoe Kravitz now dating very publicly Harry Styles. I mean, it's a small world. It's a small bubble. It's a small amount of people who understand what you go through and live the life that you
Right.
live. So, I mean, I get it to an extent, but I do think it's weird.
Right. I think we're always going to think it's weird, but I think that it's not as weird in their culture of
Yeah.
celebrity because you're right, their bubbles are a lot smaller. Who they can trust is
It's
a
not
lot smaller.
Well, and it's not like honestly they get the opportunity to go meet people
Right.
because their worlds are so contained. I really liken this to like my school experience. Like I went to the same school from fifth grade through graduating high school. And while some people become like sibling like friends, you're really only ever around this group of people for all those years. And so obviously you're all going to kind of date the
Right.
same
There's only
people.
so many to choose from.
Because like how are you going to meet a lot of different people? If you were talking about Zoe Kravitz though, I just want to note, I do think this is very weird that she's dating Harry Styles, though I do think they kind of work. But she is like the weirdest dater I can find,
She
I think.
definitely doesn't
Like
seem to have a type.
no. And it's like she was just engaged to Channing Tatum like 5 minutes
Uh-huh.
ago. And yet she's had now her third like full-blown relationship in the public
Listen,
since.
I think I just enjoy being by myself too much that if I was in that situation and I had just broken off of a serious relationship, I think I would enjoy just having some me time, getting to do what I want.
She clearly is
Yeah.
codependent, is all I'm saying. But I do think if we were to have a double date situation with Travis and Taylor and Harry and Zoe, that would be the epitome of weird.
But see, I get the vibe from Harry that he's just like the guy that when you break up, he's just buddies with everybody.
Well, like I think they're friendly, but that was post 1989 Taylor's
That's
version
true.
coming out, and I don't think that was a great look for
That's true.
him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I do think it's, I mean, I think it's weird for all of us because we don't live that life or we're not in that
Yep.
world. But for them and considering their worlds, I don't think it's that weird.
Agreed. Yeah.
Now, I do think if somebody had had like a horrific recent relationship,
Oh,
it would
for
be
sure.
weird.
I think that there's
Yeah, I
still
would
like
doubt your friendship.
some lines we don't cross, famous or not.
Yeah, I would hope.
You would
I would
think.
hope. All right, this is from Louise.
I think so.
Yeah. Um, do you think PR teams really leak the title tracks and/or sound bites of songs, and if so, why avoid them? And this was, she had actually sent a question last week after the episode. She sent two, was about why I avoid the leaks on social
Yes.
media of artists. We talked about that with Taylor, and she resent this one, so kind of addressing both. Yes, I do believe that PR teams do that for certain artists, especially like newer artists or like artists that haven't done anything in a minute. I do think they do. I think it's a tactic to get people's interest.
I
Um,
think for legit artists, though, it's just somebody that I don't think their PR team is leaking it. I think it's somebody that just wants to feel important. And
yeah, now I do think that there are instances where, and I did get trapped this weekend by somebody, and that's what annoys me. Like, I would like, you know how on videos they'll say like trigger warning for like sexual
yeah,
assault or something like that. I really wish that people would give me a trigger warning that you're about to leak something.
yeah,
Because I got trapped this weekend and I did accidentally watch one that is allegedly a clip of Taylor recording Wood from the new
yeah.
album. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I think it was probably legit. And if not, I am mind blown by why.
Listen, yeah, I can
But
see
the
that.
lyrics were like something that has, I'll just say it has to do with that little Pinocchio character. That's so, I'm like, oh, this just seems very realistic.
I just
But
don't like when an artist has worked so hard and is so proud of something. I don't like when somebody leaks it. And it's like telling somebody else's story for them. It's not your place.
well, for me, I liken it to, and Louise, I don't know if you have children, but if I've like come up, or if you're married or have a significant other, if I've come up with like the supreme surprise gift and somebody spoils that for either my child or my husband before I can give it to them and see that like pure shock and awe on their face, I am mad as
Yeah.
hell. Why I never tell Judd what we're getting Aaron for Christmas because he cannot keep a secret.
Yeah. It just
And
takes
so
the
I
joy
think it's kind of
out of
the
it.
same thing.
And
Yeah.
as a fan, like we have excitement building for a certain date. So then
Yeah.
when that date gets here, if it's already been leaked to us, we're like, okay.
I did see that Taylor's team announced yesterday over the weekend that they were going to open. There's going to be 500 targets that are going to stay open or open at midnight on October 3rd to release her album, and I think that's so fun because if you're not familiar with the lore, back in the day on her album release night, she would always go to the local Target in Nashville with her friends and buy her album.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was kind of like, are
Yeah, so I think
people
it's
still
fun.
going to stores to buy these in person? But okay, that's fun.
Yeah. So I think it's fun, kind of a nod to all of that. But yeah, I think it's just like anything else we've talked about with PR. I think that some teams choose to leak it to get like some coverage, to get some footage, like
Yeah.
footing in the world.
Yeah, 'cause I think there are
But
some
yeah, I think
artists that are jealous of other success and they can't get quite the excitement and build up around their own releases that I do think that their teams leak some
yeah.
things to try and get some interest.
Well, and I think like if you're asking about Taylor at all, I do not believe her PR team does that. I don't think they have to, but I think they use Taylor Nation and Twitter and social media to do that same thing without leaking it, but they build the excitement either way. But, all right, are you ready for some Y
Let's do some
Factor?
live factor.
All right, what are you not liking?
So what I'm not liking this week is we are in the throes of raising a teenager right now who is in
Whoa.
high school for the first time. And we are having to learn how to study for exams and
Oh.
how to time manage. And let me just say,
Mm,
I'd rather keep something.
I'm not great at either one.
I would just much rather go back and potty train a child than do this.
Oh, heavens. Okay, it's that
I
bad,
just
huh?
Ryder is our extremely intelligent child. He does not have to put forth effort to do something the right way or to ace a test. You can give him the
Hmm.
world's hardest math test. As long as he's heard you talk about it once, he'll get over 100 on the test. It's just how his brain works. Not certain he's my child, but that's how it works. He is taking an AP class this year that
Uh,
they are teaching it like it is a college level course, and the way that they're asking questions is just not how he's used to being asked questions.
yeah.
So just this weekend, we just really had, and he's a good kid. So it's like when I get onto him or when I tell him he has to do something, yes, ma'am, and he'll do it. It's just the fact that like I'm having to constantly remind you, hey, this is due tomorrow. Maybe instead of playing video games or hanging out with your brother, we like manage our time today. There's only so many hours.
Yeah.
So that's just really been like a thorn in our side so far this year.
Yeah.
Things could be much worse. I do realize that.
Oh,
But
wow. That's
just
valid.
this is the first, we're having to get into this, and so I'm not loving it.
Yeah. I gotcha. I gotcha. Well, I've got
Okay.
two. Um, you're familiar with the game Spades?
Love spades.
Me too. I freaking love Spades. I could play it all day, every
Okay.
day. Love it. Now, am I great?
No.
Here's what happens though. I do feel like I have found a new sense of like I've gotten better.
Okay.
Okay, so we played Spades this weekend, the night of the. No, it was the night before the Great Fireball
Okay.
Extravaganza. I had a partner, and I love her. She's great. But she can't count a book to save her life, apparently. And she also does not organize her hand correctly because then she'll go, "Oh no, I didn't see this in my hand," or she'll play a suit that she clearly did not have 5 seconds ago
Oh.
and get us 150 negative
Yeah.
points. And I was just like, what are we doing here? And it used to be me that was a little problematic for Aaron, and because he's real good at that. And I never am like, oh, is it four? Is it five? I just
Right.
don't really know. But I really felt like I was like in my zone this
Uh-huh.
weekend, and then she ruined it every time. And I was like, we could have won. And I hate to lose. So I was like,
Doug is one of those like he
hey,
just never loses. He's very good at figuring out what he's
yeah.
at, what everybody else probably has.
That's how Aaron is. And Aaron like knows like, oh, you played this, so that means you have
Uh-huh.
this. And I'm like, I didn't even know you
Yeah.
were here.
I
Like,
listen.
didn't know.
You know how I pick my football teams? I go off vibes on my
Same.
strategy.
Yeah.
Like Laura, my sister, hates partnering with me. She's like, Rebecca's strategy is just all over the place. What works one game, she's going to try something different the next game.
Well,
But I
and,
do
and
organize
when
well.
someone
I need
says
to know what
to you,
suits I have and what I need to do to throw.
well, no, that was my thing. I was like, okay, if you misguessed how many suits, I can
Yeah.
understand how many books you got to win. But if you're gonna like three hands in a row, be like, oh, I didn't organize my hand correctly. I was
People that
like,
go nil with a whole bunch of spades. I'm like, what are we doing?
what are we
They're
doing?
low
Yeah,
spades. Yeah, but there's a lot of them.
yeah. Like a two can still win a book. Is like, yeah. So that really is on my nerves, or was on my nerves the other day. But I still just love
Love it.
spades. Then the second thing I have is just I'm really tired of adults being immature.
Oh, yes.
And I know that there's time, and now listen, there's a difference between being immature and being petty, because we love
We
a
do
petty
love a
moment.
petty moment.
Okay?
When warranted.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, big difference here. I just like the immaturity level of a lot of adults, and I get that sometimes I have these moments too, but it's usually reactionary. I don't feel that I very often like lead the immaturity, and I just am real tired of it.
Do you know what I found is that the mean girls and guys from high school that didn't amount to
Uh-huh.
anything, they're now the mean adults, and you're like,
Oh yeah. Well, in sports, what I have found is all these people who never made
yep,
it, and they're living vicariously through their own children. They're the
yeah,
worst. I'm sorry you didn't play Division One sports. I did, so shut
right.
up. Is what I want to say. Like, I just like
Oh god.
Please explain football to me when my entire family played Division One and some of them played in the pros.
Right.
Please explain it
Yeah,
to me.
I need your
And
input.
please treat me like I'm ignorant because I'm a woman. Please.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, so that was on your
Yeah.
heart this weekend.
Yeah, that was the Lord's moving in me, and we'll see if He fixes anything. I don't know. Maybe beyond His control. What are you liking though this
What
week?
I'm liking this week is that on my socials, my algorithm is starting to swing towards the holidays.
No, I just
Like
knew it was going to
all
be about. I knew it was going to be fall decor.
new,
I just knew it.
new. It's like all the Hobby Lobby hauls and all the.
I went into Walmart and it was Halloween amok, and I thought of you. I was like,
Listen,
oh
I
Lord.
had to go to Walmart yesterday, which I try in Walmart once a month max. And I saw the
Yeah.
Halloween, but usually like back in the garden section, they'll go ahead and start putting out the and they didn't have any out. I was very disappointed. But we have to get a
We had Mums amok at ours.
new Christmas tree this year because our other one, I do artificial only,
Same.
and it had held on for
Same.
10 years for us. And so this year we got it.
Same.
So I'm very excited. We're probably going to do that this year. Like I've built my whole week around.
You know, you should go ahead and do that right now while they're cheaper.
I know. So I've got one picked out online, but I
I'm
need
sure
to
this is on
go
the spreadsheet.
in store
Yeah.
and see to make sure that there's not like a less expensive one that I like just as much. You know, budgets. I got to pay attention to that. So I'm living that. But also when it starts to turn fall, I start baking a lot more. And so this weekend, I love Asiago cheese bagels from Panera. Like, I'm pretty sure when I was pregnant with Ryder, I would eat like 15 a day. Just,
Does he like them now
no,
too?
it's not. Now I
Interesting,
love
'cause that usually-
spicy things when I was pregnant with him, and I do not like spicy things, but I loved it with him. And he is a spicy connoisseur person now. So
Oh,
there's that. But
interesting.
I made
Okay.
some Asiago cheese bagels this weekend that tasted just like Panera's, and I was very proud of myself. So
Okay.
that's what I'm loving.
So you're in your bagel
I'm in
era.
my bagel era.
Nice, nice. I love a good bagel. Well, so I got triggered by the internet. Everyone was talking about, as always, everyone was posting about this documentary on Netflix called Unknown Number.
Hey, it's on my list.
So I watched it, and it is a mind f. Like, I'm not gonna spoil anything because it's just wholly unfair if I spoil this. So please don't go look up the story first because I knew nothing. I literally had no context as to what we were dealing with. I knew literally nothing. I just saw everyone talking about Unknown Number. I figured it was a catfishing issue because of just the title. And so I went into it completely blind, but it was everywhere. And I am just stunned. Like,
It's crazy.
wow. But what I will say is, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I love a documentary. We've talked about this a million times when the actual people are in
Yes.
it and interviewed. But I'm also very confused when you are a horrific human being, why you are willing to do that.
Because you don't realize how horrific you are.
Is it like what? Like what happened? I mean, I believe we were all created in heaven, right? But like what happened that you became such an awful human being and you like will own it on net? Like how did you get so mind
Yeah.
stupid?
I think
Like
it's because they think they can convince people of why they did it and like be justified in it. Yeah, it was wrong, but
so
they
is
did
this is like the poster child of
well,
narcissism, right?
100%.
Like so you're familiar with the
Yeah,
case.
so I had read about this years ago.
Okay. I think I had heard about it and I just like did not even know what I was turning
Yeah.
on. And because like once it kind of started playing, I was like, oh, I vaguely remember this, but I could not remember the ending until it comes out in the documentary. And I was like, what?
Yeah, my TikTok algorithm was full of people.
It's everywhere right now.
Getting their reaction when they show who the unknown number was.
Listen, if you had videoed me, it would have been worthy of an Oscar because I was just like, I mean, hand to chest, blown
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
But it's very well done. Again, always when the actual people are involved, the investigators, the sheriffs.
Is it a lot of
people-
episodes?
No.
Okay. I was
I
wanting to watch
mean-
it this week.
Did it
But
in
I
the
gotta
afternoon.
like do it
like
in between football games.
yeah. Yeah, you're going to need to do that before Thursday, though, because, you know,
Yeah.
that starts football. But It is great. But it also turned me onto a podcast called the You Can't Make This Up podcast.
Oh.
And so I've not gotten to listen to any of the episodes yet because again, this all just happened. But I went and like scrolled through their titles and the synopsis. I am in because it's like a lot of these things where it's a lot of crimes when you like get to the end and you're like, I cannot believe it was actually you this whole time. Like,
Okay.
so I think we're gonna love it. So I'm gonna listen to a few and then I'm gonna let you know
Okay,
next
do
week
because
because I'm flying somewhere this week, so I'll have some time with my headphones.
So when Ryder and I are in the car together, he doesn't really like music in particular, like the songs that I'm going to listen to, but he loves if I can find a really good crime podcast that we can kind of follow along. So I'll have to mark it.
Yeah, this one sounds really interesting. But the other thing that I loved about Unknown Number is it gave us a good synopsis of like where the characters, I mean, they're not characters, but you know what I mean, the players, where they are today. You know, a lot of times we get our documentaries and then I have to go Google where are they now, which I do every time. But this one gave us a really good
Oh, I love
closure
that.
to it.
Okay.
So that's very helpful. Because otherwise I'd have been tracking this chick now quick.
100%.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that's episode 84.
All right, guys, we are fully into football.
Yep, we will be back next week with more football. We will have our first, we believe, Taylor at a Chiefs game for the season as a fiance. And I will be back from Florida, so I'm sure I'll have tales amuck
Okay, we'll have to
of what is
learn how your face did with the sun.
Oh, jeez. I just got a new blister popping up, so that's great.
Gosh.
All right, well, thanks, y'all.
Bye, y'all.